Well, President George Bush really dedicated his life to public service and built a political dynasty. But he wasn't one to boast about his accomplishments.
Alexandra Limon joins us now live and shows us how lawmakers on Capitol Hill are remembering all of his accomplishments. Alexandra?
And Jennifer, throughout the day today, we continued to hear touching tributes to President George H.W. Bush from those who knew him, who worked with him, and some who credit him for making the world a better and safer place. President Donald Trump visited members of the Bush family at Blair House across the street from the White House. Meanwhile, at the Capitol Rotunda, thousands of Americans continued to pay their respects to President George Herbert Walker Bush. In a truly touching moment, Bob Dole saluted the president's casket. And in the spirit of President Bush's ability to reach across party lines, United States senators from both parties paid tribute to his lifetime of service and his many accomplishments.
Under President George Herbert Walker Bush, we saw the largest reduction in nuclear weapons in history. And America and the world are safer today because of it.
He was a devoted public servant who fought to defend our freedoms.
And he signed the Bipartisan American with Disabilities Act, which has had a lasting impact.
Americans who benefited from that legislation were among those who paid their respects, as did former generals who served under President Bush during Operation Desert Storm. As part of the tributes to the 41st president, some lawmakers also remembered how President Bush helped them early in their careers.
He didn't have to give me the time of day, but he poured his heart into the people around him.
A memorial service will take place for President Bush Wednesday at the National Cathedral. And at that memorial service, members of the Bush family will eulogize the president. President Trump is expected to be in attendance, as well as former U.S. presidents and other world leaders. Live in Washington, Alexandra Limon.